I promise I'm not dead, I'm just not wearing any makeup in this video.
Oh, for God's sake, Niall!
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Unless you're new, then welcome to my channel. My name is Jasmine. This is my One Direction channel, Hey Angel, but I have a main channel called Jasmine's 8 if you want to go check it out. There's other vlogs and stuff over there. Link is always in the description. I think I've got saying that down pat by now. It's what we call growth. So as you all know, in my last video, I told you guys that I was going to be filming a Q&A as well as doing a giveaway for this week's video, so that's what this is. I mean, obviously. So for today's video, I'm going to be answering the questions that you guys left me. I did get quite a few, and I'm also going to be discussing details of a giveaway that I'm doing at the end of this video, so make sure you stay until the end so you can find out how to win merch from me. But yeah, for the first part of this video, I'm just going to be answering your questions. Like I said, I did get a lot, especially in my YouTube comments, so I'm really sorry if I don't get around to yours. I'm going to try to answer as many as I can, if not all of them, but if yours isn't in this video, I deeply apologize, and I promise I love you so much. So without any further hesitation, let's just answer some questions and also get into my giveaway. The first question I have here is from Ava, and they asked, what tour shows are you going to? I'm actually going to a lot of tour shows for Harrie and Louis. So for Louis, I'm going to Boston, and then New York night 1, New York night 2, and then I'll be at Philly, and then I'll also be at LA night 1, LA night 2. Then for Harrie, I'm gonna be at New York night 1, New York night 2, New York night 3, St. Louis, San Diego, and LA night 3. So I'm going to about 5 Louis shows and about 6 Harrie shows. And then for Niall, I'm gonna see him for my birthday on the Nice to Meet You tour in Chicago. So those are the tour shows I'm going to. So the next question is from Camila, and she wants to know, what is your favorite song from Walls that we already know? My favorite song from Walls, I think, is definitely Defenseless. I don't know if you count that as a song we already know, because technically it doesn't have a studio version, but technically we know it because he sang it in Spain. So Defenseless is my favorite song. But if you don't count Defenseless, my favorite song that has a studio version is probably Don't Let It Break Your Heart. So excited for Walls. Oh, I can't fucking wait. The next question I have is from Court C, and they said, here's my question for you. Do you think One Direction should get back together fully, stay as solo artist, or stay as solo artist but collaborate on songs together? Oh god, I was so scared of getting this question. I don't even know. I think at this point it would be kind of weird for them to come back together as a band just because they're so used to doing their own thing as solo artists, and just because their fans are so used to them doing their own thing as solo artists. I think it would be really weird if all of a sudden they tried to be a band again. I don't know how that would go for them. I just feel like it would be weird after having all this freedom. Like, you get to make your own songs with your own sound and your own album and wear what you want. I think going back to having to share those decisions with 4 other people or 3 other people is just weird. Like, I think it would be a big change for them, and I don't think it's a change that they want. I definitely think that they should do some kind of reunion where they come back together for a certain period of time, just to like do a comeback tour or a reunion special or something. But I don't think they're gonna come back together like permanently and make a new album and be One Direction again like the Jonas Brothers did. I don't know if I can see that happening, because I think all of them at one point or another have been like, yeah, when the time's right, we're gonna come back. But I don't know what that entails. I don't know if they're gonna reunion. I don't know if they're gonna make a new album. I genuinely don't know. But me personally, I don't know, I think they should stay solo, which hurts me. It hurts me to say that because I grew up with One Direction. They're my everything, and I love them as a band, but I just feel like the transition back into a band would be just really weird for them. But maybe not. Like I said, I'm not them, I don't know, so hard question. So next questions, the 2 questions from Ella. She says, 1, what's One Direction's best album in your opinion? Midnight Memories. Midnight Memories is their best album, their best work ever created in the world ever. And then her second question says, if you got a dog, what would you name it? I actually have 2 dogs, and my family has this tradition where we actually name all of our dogs after Disney characters, or well, not Disney characters, but Disney animals. So like my very first dog, his name was Scamp from Lady and the Tramp, and then my second dog, Raja, is from Aladdin, and then my third dog, Simba, is from The Lion King. So if I had like my own dog, like not a family dog, but if I got my own dog, I think I would want to like keep that tradition going and name it after like a Disney animal. Good question. So the next question is by Dorian Nicole, and she has 2. The first one says, have you ever been a huge stan of anyone besides the boys of One Direction? Actually, I haven't, which is weird. Like, I've been a really big fan of other artists before. When I was younger, I went through this Demi Lovato phase where I idolized her so much back then, and I idolized Little Mix for a time. I went through a phase in high school where I was obsessed with 21 Pilots, but I've never like hardcore stanned anyone like I do with One Direction. I've devoted my entire being in my life to them since I was like 11 years old, and so no, I've never felt a connection to another artist like I do with One Direction. Her second question says, what's your take on how the boys were treated by their management? I think that that's something that's really hard for me to answer because there's so many things that I have to say, and I think I want to film a Let's Talk About It segment about the dark side of One Direction, not even just management. A huge chunk of it is management, but I just kind of want to film like a really long video where I just go into depth about all the things that were wrong in that boy band, because they, on the surface, they looked like these happy guys, you know, biggest boy band in the world, having the time of their lives, but under the surface there's a bunch of fucked up stuff that really did happen, especially with their management, and I really want to talk about it. I want to talk about how they were treated by their management and Simon Cowell, because if you don't know, it wasn't good, and I feel like not enough people realize that, and I really just want to expose. So I think my take on how they were treated by their management is awful, and that's one of the things that makes me glad that they were able to get out of there. Like I said, I love One Direction as a band. I will go to my grave loving them as a band. But the freedom that they have as solo artists just makes me happy because they're happy, because they really were mistreated by their management. They were money makers to their management. They weren't people, they were money makers, to put it simply, and it's fucked up. The FBI is gonna come busting my door down. If I suddenly disappear off of YouTube and off of social media, it's because Simon Cowell sent the FBI after me. The next question is by Alex C. They said, very important question. If you could eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
If you could only eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would you eat for the rest of your life if you could eat it for the rest of your life?
If I could only eat one food for the rest of my life, I would only eat dumplings or gyojas, same thing, pork or chicken. So obsessed. That's all I ever post about and talk about ever. The next question is by Taya Majors. I see you in my YouTube comments all the time. Your comments make me really happy. I love you. Thank you. She says, how do you feel about people who get tattoos related to their idols? And then there's a second question. I think it's completely 100% valid for people to get tattoos related to their idols, no matter what it is. If it's a lyric or a quote or something in their handwriting or even their face or a cartoon of them, anything that has to do with it, I think it's valid. And I don't think that people should be shat on for getting tattoos related to their idols. I think people who hate on the idea of getting a tattoo for your idol are the kind of people who don't understand what it's like to have one. Like, when there's a famous person that you idolize, or that's your fave, or that you stan, you look up to, it means the world to you. That's like something that can't be recreated. They make you feel so safe and at home. They're literally like your lifeline. Like, your whole circle of strength can be that person or those people. And so it's completely valid to get a tattoo related to them, especially if it's like a lyric or quote that really sticks with you. I have a tattoo for Harry. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but it just says choose love. Choose love was my very, very first tattoo, and I got it because of Harry's speech that he made in Mexico. And he said, be a lover, give love, choose love. Like, that whole speech just really warmed my heart. As soon as I heard it, I knew that I wanted choose love to be my first tattoo. Her second question says, what is your take on living as a stan? Is it worth it? You guys are like big brain moment. Good questions. I think living as a stan is difficult, especially if you're like a full-time stan. It gets draining. It gets emotionally exhausting. Let me tell you, I would know. Having so much content of one person that you love can be overwhelming because it's a lot to take in. But then also, like, you get to a point where it's like you're struggling to sleep because something's dropping, or you're scared something's gonna drop. You're forgetting to take care of yourself and eat because you're so consumed with being on the internet and like posting about your faves, supporting them, streaming their music, spreading the word about them, waiting for their interviews, stressing about when tickets are gonna go on sale. Like, it can be very just damaging, and sometimes it's hard because you have to like live among other stans. There could be drama in the fandom that takes a toll on you. It's a lot. But with that being said, I do think it's worth it. It's worth it when you get to have an idol that you love so much and listen to their music and be with other people who support them. Like, I wouldn't trade it for the world. You get to have all these best friends and look up to someone, go to their shows. Like, concerts are just life-changing. I definitely think it is worth it. The good parts outweigh the bad parts of being a full-time stan. Next question is by Kaylin Rose. She says, I noticed that your intro for your main channel is Law & Order. What's the deal with that? Is it your favorite show? My intro for my main channel is Law & Order. It always has been ever since I started Jasmine's Aid like 2 years ago or a year ago or so. The intro has always been Law & Order. Yeah, that is my favorite show. Good question. Law & Order SVU has been my favorite show for years now. It's gotten to a point where throughout high school I was known as like the cop show girl because I was so obsessed with Law & Order and Criminal Minds and Chicago PD and NCIS, Mindhunter, like everything. But Law & Order SVU is like my main baby. Like, I love all cop shows, but Law & Order SVU is just like my number one. Mariska Hargitay. But yeah, that's why my main channel intro is Law & Order. I've always just been known as like the Law & Order Criminal Minds girly. I used to have a stan account for Law & Order SVU, but then I stopped having a Law & Order stan account. I miss it. Next question is by Abby. She says, I'm a Niall girl, so for Q&A, what's your favorite Niall song? My favorite Niall song is Too Much to Ask. It's a masterpiece. I'm so excited for his second album. I can't wait to like find a new favorite Niall song. The next question is by Alexa Loves 1D. What is your favorite solo song from each of the boys? Like I said, my favorite Niall song is Too Much to Ask. For Louis, it's Defenseless. For Harrie, Harrie, it's hard because his Fine Line just came out. My favorite Harrie song used to be From the Dining Table, always. But now that Fine Line is out, I think my new favorite Harrie song is Fine Line. Yeah, I think Fine Line the song. I have a reaction up on my main channel, by the way, if you want to see that. I did my Fine Line album reaction on Jasmine's Aid. It's over there. I'll have it linked down below. If you haven't seen it, go check it out because it was an emotional roller coaster. My favorite Zayn song is Rainberry. I don't really listen to Liam's music. That's a whole other story. Next question is by Sarah. They asked, who did you have a crush on from One Direction growing up? It's actually really interesting. I don't think I really had a crush on anyone from One Direction. I was never one of those people who was like, oh my god, I want to marry them, I want to have their babies. Like, that was never me, and I still don't feel that way to this day. I kind of just saw them as like, I don't even know how to describe it, just like boys that I look up to. Like, I felt like they were my best friends, and I still do. Like, I call them my best friends because they're my best friends, except for Niall, he's my boyfriend. But growing up, I always just thought of them more as like my best friends, like people that I just want to hang out with and love unconditionally forever and ever in the most platonic way. Like, I'm in love with you, but it's platonic. So I didn't really have a crush on any of them growing up. But funny enough, I was a Niall girl. When I first started standing One Direction back in 2011, I was a Niall girl, and then I switched from Niall to Louis in like late 2013, and then Louis has been my favorite ever since then, leading up to now. Louis is still my favorite. So like Niall and Louis just always had my heart. Next question is by Chelsea. They asked, what inspired you to start Hey Angel and your vlog channel? I actually had my main channel, it's not really a vlog channel, just my main channel. I've had that longer than I've had Hey Angel. I think summer 2018 is when I started Jasmine's Aid. And I don't know what inspired me. I think it was just a time in my life when I was doing really well in terms of like my mental health. I was in a really good place. I was really happy. I was doing a lot of stuff like in my life, and I decided that I wanted to document it, and I wanted to start a new hobby, so why not start YouTube? I was so obsessed with a bunch of other YouTubers that I really looked up to, and I was like, you know what, I'm in a good place, like let's document this, let's start this, I want this as a hobby. And I started making videos in the summer, and I ended up loving it so much. And then in the winter of last year, my 1 year on Hey Angel is actually coming up. I really don't know what inspired me. I remember sitting in the car in the back seat one day going somewhere, and I just randomly had this idea, like, I love Jasmine's Aid so much, what if I started making One Direction YouTube videos? Because I like watching One Direction YouTube videos, but I've never seen a channel that was like this one, if that makes sense. Like, I've seen channels where they have like some One Direction stuff where it's like, okay, reactions, whatever, but I've never come across a channel where they just dedicate everything to being entertaining and updating people on One Direction. So I thought it was a really unique and cool idea for me to start a channel just dedicated to this part of my life, because I feel like Hannah Montana. Like, yeah, I have my normal life, but also One Direction. Next question is by Lauren Collins. They said, how do you feel about the whole Liam thing? Like, what's your opinion on it? I tweeted about this the other day about how I was scared to address this because like I said, this is a One Direction channel. Like, the goal here is to support all of them. But Liam, I don't know how much you guys know about the Liam situation, but over time, he's just been doing things that are just so questionable. And in the beginning, when he first started making weird comments and like doing questionable things, I was kind of brushing it off like, okay. But now it's just escalating to a point where it's like, when am I gonna stop brushing it off and say it like it is? And it hurts, like it's weird. Because like, I grew up with all 5 of them, and I grew up with Liam, and he used to be someone that I loved so much. Like, he was one of the best. So it's weird that all of a sudden he's changed so much, and when I look at him, it's like, who are you? I know there's people out there who still support Liam, like, good for you. I 100% back that up. Like, if you want to still stand Liam, go for it. Like, I can't be the person who's like, oh, he's a disgusting human, I think everyone should hate him. Like, no, I don't think that. I'm just personally not really a stan of him anymore. I'm still gonna like update on him and everything, but honestly, I've really lost touch with Liam, kind of. So watching this footage back made me realize that I worded everything kind of weird, and I just want to make it clear that I still love Liam. Somewhere deep down inside of me, I feel like I could never just stop loving him because he's been such a huge part of my life for so long, you know what I mean? So it's not my intent to sit here and be like, I hate Liam, I don't like him anymore. It's not like that. I just really don't agree with some of the things that he's been doing lately, to the point where it's like, I just don't stand anymore. But somewhere deep down inside of me, I will always love and care for him. I just, like I said, lost touch with him a little bit. We're not as connected anymore, and I think you should all do your own research and decide for yourself if you want to cancel Liam or not. It should not be up to me or up to the fandom what your opinion on Liam is. You need to study the things that he has done and he has said and decide for yourself if you want to still support him. That's what I should have said in this video. I think the situation is really complicated because obviously you can't believe everything you see on the internet. So I think that everyone should be very careful when they hear things about Liam, because things can be twisted the wrong way. The next question is by Darian. I'm pretty sure it's how you say it, Darian Cassidy. Another person that I see in my YouTube comments all the time. Great. They said 2 questions for your Q&A. The first one is, what's your favorite and least favorite Harrie song? Like I said earlier, From the Dining Table and now Fine Line. And my least favorite Harrie song, Please Don't Burn Me. Y'all are gonna hate me for this, but it's Ever Since New York. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I just think Ever Since New York is a skip. I don't like it that much. It's not that I hate it, it's just not my favorite. And she said, and 2, will you marry me? There's a reply under this question that says, you and your crush on her kills me. She's with Niall, sorry. Yeah, sorry, I am with Niall. He's my boyfriend. He'd probably be really upset if he saw this, so. If I wasn't with Niall, I'd consider it, but we're very happy together, so. So those are all the questions I'm going to be answering today. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm really sorry if I didn't get to yours. I had a lot of comments to go through, so if you weren't featured, I'm really sorry. I will definitely be doing more Q&As in the future here as well as on my main channel. Now for the giveaway. So since there's a new era upon us with Harrie and Niall, they both have been announcing merch. Unfortunately, Louis has not yet, so I can't give away any Louis merch, but I am giving away Harrie and Niall merch since they both just announced merch. So for this giveaway, I'm going to be giving away 1 piece of merch of your choice that belongs either in Harrie's store or Niall's store. That's how it's gonna work. So if you want to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is leave a comment down below with your Twitter handle and your Instagram handle, or just one or the other. Like, if you don't have Instagram, that's okay, you can just put your Twitter handle, but I need at least one or the other so I can contact you if you win. Just make sure that you're following me on Instagram and Twitter. I will be picking the winners from my YouTube comments, and I will contact you on Instagram or Twitter if you're the winner, and I'll be picking the winners exactly 2 weeks from today. So if you want to enter, go ahead and enter. Get you some Niall merch, get you some Harrie merch, whatever you want. Good luck to everyone. I wish you the bestest of the best luck in the world. Merry Christmas. So now the giveaway is done and the Q&A is done. This video is over, so I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it as always, and also thank you for all your questions. Don't forget to subscribe to my main channel, Jasmine Zaid. Go check out my Fine Line reaction. It's already up over there. Hope you all have a good day, night, evening, afternoon, and I will see you in my next video.
Going